Hello, my name is Kyle and I'm here to talk to you about abortion in South Africa. Specifically about the realities of abortion in South Africa, how we can fight against the child sacrifice mill, and what it means to be an abolitionist. Let's get to it. Just to get some few things out the way, I am a biological male. No, I don't have a uterus. No, I don't know what it's like to carry a child in my tummy. No, I have not given birth to anyone. And yes, I do still think that I have something to say about killing innocent human beings. Not so much that I have something to say, but that there's something to be done. And of course, if you have any objective understanding of what is right and wrong, you'll understand that abortion is in fact wrong. I am also a father. I have 2 kids of my own, and the goal of what we're trying to do here is for the sake of our children. If we don't do anything for our children, why would we do anything? And so people are motivated to do various things, of course, for the sake of many different things. But if you have kids, you would understand that sincerely trying to make the world a better place is at the forefront of why we want to do better for the sake of our children. So context about my country, South Africa is a developing country, which I think is a prime example of where we can see a template or case study of the abolishment of child sacrifice that could heal a nation. Abortion is at the center of many different issues of this country. In South Africa, we have a lot of socioeconomic problems, poverty, unemployment. Probably as a result of being governed by a libertarian socialist state. A lot of it's due to greed, corruption, and so we have a lot of issues. However, of course, abolishing child sacrifice is important to understand that this could change so many issues for us, and of course, be at the center of healing for our country. To be clear, while this is an initiative that has been inspired by those in America, just like they've inspired people in Australia, Canada, and hopefully the UK, I've wanted to put this forward based off of South African legislation, not United States law. This is a universal issue happening across the world where every country that I know of supports abortion in some way, and it needs to end. As pointed out here, though, South Africa has its own laws regarding abortion, which is a good point. This is a quote from NVDB attorneys who have described our abortion bill, and I quote, something that a bill that's enshrined with not only gender equality, but a woman's autonomy over her own body. Now, the abortion law in South Africa is called the Choice and Termination of Pregnancy Act 92 of 1996. And if you are an abolitionist, if you understand, an abolitionist, if you are an abolitionist and you understand what it is to be an abolitionist, you would of course object with that description of our law. We'll make another video on the law itself coming up. But we just want to understand, as I said, the context of what it means to have an abortion in South Africa. So, according to this law, let's go through the gestational periods for abortion. Up to 12 weeks, a mother or a girl who is pregnant can walk into an abortion clinic or any provider of abortions for any reason, in that they don't have to give a reason as to why they have to have an abortion. I suppose any reason that they do give is acceptable, up to 12 weeks, and that can be performed by a doctor, a midwife, or a nurse, as long as they have the appropriate training to kill kids, which is concerning because there is apparently specific training that people can go through to carry out child sacrifice. 13 to 20 weeks, this is when physical and mental health of both the mother and child is taken into account by the doctor, as well as risks to upcoming physical and mental health. This is also in cases of rape or incest, where the child is then, I suppose, killed for the sins of the father. And then we talk about economic circumstances. The reasoning is very clear, of course. Physical and mental issues, physical and mental development of the child, rape and incest. But this fourth reason is extremely vague, in that we're talking about socio-economic problems. So if the mother's poor in the second trimester, or if she becomes poor in the second trimester, she can still abort her child. That becomes an issue because when you read further and you talk about late-term abortions in this country, late-term abortions are restricted but not impossible. They can be performed by a medical doctor if the continued pregnancy endangers the mother's life, or there's a risk of severe injury to her physical and mental health, or if the child has severe physical or mental abnormalities. Suddenly, socioeconomic issues aren't pointed out in third trimester abortions, and it doesn't match up with the right to life, and meaning that right to life suddenly does get noted in late-term abortions, where socioeconomic problems are not a good enough reason to kill your child. That needs to apply across the board. Another point to note here is that, for example, if I'm a medical doctor and I refuse to carry out an abortion, and I say to you, hey, I'm not going to help you kill your child, and I don't refer you to someone who is willing, then I can go to jail. I can be prosecuted for that according to the law. Now, the abortion mill in South Africa uses a wide range of reasons to justify abortion, such as unwanted pregnancies. Apparently, unwanted pregnancies make up for 65% of all pregnancies in South Africa, as well as illegal abortions, which is the term for back alley abortions. Illegal abortions in South Africa still are very high and still make up for about just over half of all abortions in South Africa, or half of the total number. This is a statistic taken from data compiled in 2015 to 2019 by the Guttmacher Institute. They did an independent survey, and they found that abortions amount to, or in this 5-year period, they amounted to about 456,250 year on year. That means that in this 5-year period, 2.2 million innocent lives were lost in this country. Abortion rates in South Africa are climbing, and I suppose that they hold kind of steady at about 23% of all pregnancies that end in the death of a child, meaning an abortion. So to put this into perspective, per day, the estimates come in at around 1,250 babies being killed every day in this country. That's including illegal abortions. Very difficult number to get across because, of course, legal abortions are not reported. Our government completely disregards the entirety of illegal abortions and the data, where they only report on legal abortions being carried out in clinics, which is not good enough, and it does not show the reality of child sacrifice in this country. This is what we can see in the latest data from about 2020 to 2024, when the number is, of course, halved, because we know that half or more than half of all abortions in this country are illegal abortions. However, data released from 2020 to 2024 show something like, half the number. This is incorrect, and of course all abortion should be illegal. And we should also note that in this country, illegal abortions have not decreased since 1994. Some simple mathematics would then make it known that 1994 comes before 1996, which means that this bill has failed to, I suppose, protect mothers as well as children. They say that it's, or pro-abort say that this is a failure of the whole healthcare system to bring healthcare to all women. I say that's an injustice to women as well as children. But hey, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about specific law in this country of 1996, how it came about, which is shocking, actually, and the law itself, which is shocking. So now that we understand the realities of pro-abortions and pro-death arguments, or the realities of it in this country, let's talk about abolition and pro-life. Abolitionism is a fairly new concept in South Africa. As far as I can tell, you're looking at it, it's me. I have not found anyone else in this country in support of it. I would love to meet you if you are. Happy to come along and say hello. Hey, how's it going? You chilling? You gonna sit here nicely? Okay. Yeah, I know that's your truck. Okay. So, abolitionism, you're looking at it. I would like to meet you if you do share the fact that abortion needs to be criminalized, needs to be illegal across the board. And of course, the realities of it is that we want to see not women being locked up for, well, not just women being locked up. We're talking about anyone who facilitates the death of an innocent child needs to be locked up. That's the doctor, that's the nurse, that's the midwife, and of course including the mother. Anyone who coerces the mother into an abortion, such as the baby daddy, anyone who says that that child needs to die, all right, that needs to be accounted for, and people need to be accountable to it. So the realities of abolishment is that, new concept. I have not seen anyone come along with this, and I'm hoping and praying that Jesus will see me through and give me wisdom, guidance, and strength to move forward. The pro-life institutes and parts in South Africa, not very numerous. There's Focus on the Family Africa, there is Pro-Life South Africa. I'm sure there's a few others that I suppose try and help pregnant mothers and assist them, give them advice. However, there is a lot more of an abortion influence and pro-abortion influence in this country than there is to protect human life. And this bill in itself is essentially a bill that tries to implement some sort of balance, they say, where they account for the fetus's life, that's their words, in late-term abortions. And somehow that balances out all the other kids dying beforehand. So that is an incrementalism argument, and it is, I'll share the link, but it is the sin of pro-life incrementalism. You're trying to be partial to innocent life being lost. So that's the realities of abortion in this country, what we're going to do against it. I'm not going to stop. I'm hoping to upload about 2 videos a day. No, sorry, not a day, a week. I am doing this by myself, so I have received some support from abolitionist movement in America. Really appreciate that, thank you. And we're going to be printing some posters and enlisting other people to come along with me and support and understand how to make arguments against people who are pro-aborts and pro-death, and trying to understand how we can make this world a better place, starting with the protection and justice of our unborn children. Of course, we're trying to also work with getting better camera, better audio, better mic. This audio is pretty crap. The picture quality is pretty crap. I'm literally just using my handheld cell phone. But yeah, we're going to keep on going at it and grow it day by day.